from the organizers. So I'm going to, actually I got 3, but I'm going to do 2 out of 3. The first was in terms of, and this wrong slide. Actually, I wanted the other slide first, please. It's a great slide, but I wanted the other one first. If it doesn't show up, yes. No, that's not it. Never mind. The question was, what kind of companies and services do I foresee as an investor? And what I want to do here is talk about the stuff that wasn't here. The stuff that was here, you're seeing it. So what else is coming along? I think we're going to see a lot more user-generated data as well as user-generated content. And there's a little bit of it here. I think you can find disclosures in the book, 23andMe, Patients Like Me. Both of those have a lot of data. We will see more. People will...
What did you say, Carlos? Isn't it the same?
Yeah. Content and data. Numbers, words.
Your blood pressure,
Good point.
blood components, your levels, whatever it is, people are going to be measuring more and more of it. They're going to be comparing themselves to one another. And to some extent, this is kind of meretricious. I was looking through my 23andMe data this afternoon trying to get the slide that you're not seeing. I discovered the very interesting thing that among my 160 friends, of which 30 are family members, my mother and my stepmother were most similar to each other for people who weren't related. It was really bizarre and completely meaningless, but it doesn't matter. Getting people involved with their own data, with other people's data, I think is going to get them more focused on their own health care. They're going to look at their genetic data and realize, 75% of what happens to me is not my genes, it's my
Getting
behavior.
people involved with their own
So
data.
let me perhaps focus on my behavior some more. That will help, probably more than anything. Another area that's really missing is the heartbreak of having to pay your bills. And it's not just the money, it's, you get all these different bills, you're not sure what they're really for. Well, didn't the doctor's fee for the surgery include anesthesiologist? I thought I could challenge that claim. Did I still pay my fee? If I wanted to challenge the fee, how do I do it? What's the flat
is your happiness.
Especially if you're sick. You get all these bills, you can't understand them, you're not sure what they were for, if it's really fair, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A tool, there was a company called Final Health Computers, got sold to Revolution Health, and as far as I know, disappeared. I don't know. But something to deal with that. Second question, because my time is short. I listened to the panel on incentives, and I was a little disappointed to hear, not to hear enough. We heard it a little towards the end. We need to start paying for health and not health care. So something like a federal health loan bank. And that's what I want in the slide that says, can somebody explain this if you could? Because this is really hard to explain. But what we need to do is use all the evidence-based medicine and all the data we've had and expected outcomes to start compensating healthcare providers and plans and people who manage people's health, including, in some way, the individuals, on the difference between the expected outcome and the improvement, both in costs and in the health of the person. The insurance companies right now are getting so good at predicting your health and your costs that it's no longer insurance. It's simply basically managing the cost and managing the transaction. We now have to have the government somehow step in, create different buckets for different levels of risk, and compensate on getting better outcomes. Two others. The question was actually asked in my 30 seconds is, how would I allocate $20 billion? $10 billion to the Federal Health Loan Bank. $5 billion in some form to subsidize the use or the implementation of IT, and that's going to be a 30-minute speech, but I'm not going to give it. And then $3 billion, well, let's make it $5 billion because I have no time, to train laid-off workers to become gym teachers. And have 45 minutes of physical exercise for every kid in every school. It will do more for health and help eliminate healthcare. Not eliminate, reduce it.